That's Goku? I can't even tell anymore.
Look, he's got a tail.
Oh man! Not that I want to look that young again, but I'm still kinda jealous.
This kid that looks like Goku even copied his blonde hair obsession.
If he can turn into a Super Saiyan, that must mean he's a Saiyan himself, right?
Could he be like a long-lost relative or something? Aw, Goku was a little cutie when he was this age, wasn't he?
This is what my husband looked like when we first met as little kids. Goten is the spitting image of him, isn't he?
I remember how shocked I was when I met somebody with a tail for the first time. This is such a nostalgic look for him. When Vegeta first came to Earth, he kept going on and on about being a prince or an elite or whatever. I just remember how nasty his attitude was.
Now he's a father of two and fights alongside Goku. Wow!
You and Goku were really positive influences on him.
I'm so glad Trunks doesn't have a tail. If they both turned into this thing, my house would be in shambles.
Now that you mention it, Vegeta doesn't have a tail. I heard that he used to, though.
That's because Yajirobe sliced it off back when Vegeta was fighting with Gohan.
I'm so...
And Vegeta follows the trend. Saiyans. They're all alike.
Ooh, blonde works for me too. If anything, I'm kinda envious how easily he can change his hairstyle.
You're a lot more tolerant of that kind of stuff, aren't you?
I remember that time Vegeta stood up to Beerus at your birthday party. What a man. Good on him.
Stop, I'm blushing. I guess everyone's opinion has kinda changed of Vegeta. Even mine.
He's a lovely husband. I admit, though, I never expected him to be so good at cooking.
Huh, what do you think? Pretty wild and cool looking, isn't he?
You're telling me that's Vegeta? You've got to be kidding.
They look kind of similar, I guess. Hard to tell, though.
Oh, look at my sweet little angel. Ever since he was born, I just knew he would study hard and be an academic genius.
Gohan's been a hard worker ever since he was little, and so dedicated to his studies. He's the best.
He's never seemed like he enjoys fighting. Funny how he's the complete opposite of Goku.
This was Gohan when we were attending Orange Star High School. I had my suspicions about him, but I never could have guessed he was part alien.
Right, this was when the World Tournament was being held. Can't remember who took home the prize money.
The gang flew off, leaving Mr. Satan to fight 18 in a battle royale. Technically, he won, but he didn't exactly beat her.
Did Dad take credit for something he didn't actually do again? Ugh, and he hasn't even been training lately.
Well, Gohan definitely looks stronger and not like a delinquent for once. Otherwise, I don't get this form.
From what he told me, the Elder Supreme Kai performed a ceremony to unlock his latent inner power.
Saiyans do the strangest things. I remember Trunks mentioned that this Gohan was his teacher in the future. That's why he looks so vastly different from the one we know today.
No matter how old he gets or even what timeline he's from, my little Gohan is just the cutest thing.
He looks so much more dramatic than the Gohan I know. The future of where the androids won must have been terrible.
From what Trunks told me, Gohan's best efforts weren't enough to stop the androids.
I guess we never crossed paths in that timeline. I would have loved to fight by his side.
All the pain and suffering this Gohan went through, it kills me just thinking about it.
This is around when Goten and Trunks trained with him.
This is when Piccolo became allies with Goku. He died protecting my son and narrowly escaped his home planet being destroyed. That's rough.
That was a crazy adventure we had on planet Namek. I'm just glad we got home in one piece.
That sounds crazy. What happened to Planet Namek anyway?
The whole planet was destroyed. So the Namekians had to move all their people to a new one.
Good thing we have the Dragon Balls to fix problems as big as that. Our hero, Great Saiyaman, the righteous warrior who protects our fair city's peace.
I invented the device that allowed him to instantly change into his outfit wherever he wanted.
No matter what weird phases he goes through, my son is a true hero at heart. A superhero. This guy is a Namekian warrior like Piccolo. I've only ever heard about him. Wonder what he's up to these days.
I heard he did a Namekian fusion with Piccolo on planet Namek. They permanently merged into each other to become more powerful.
No offense, but it's not nearly as interesting as the fusions I've seen. They look exactly the same.
Well, we're only human. Hard to relate.
I've known Krillin for what feels like forever. He was such a precocious little snot back then. But look at how much he's grown.
With his martial arts skills, he's teamed up with Goku and the others to protect our planet countless times. He's even got a lovely wife and daughter.
Considering how many times he's been wished back to life by the Dragon Balls, I'd say he's almost as tough as a Saiyan.
Wonder how many years we've known Yamcha for now. Back in the day, he was a bandit, known as the Desert Hyena.
This is one of Goku's childhood friends. And Bulma's ex-boyfriend.
Wait, for real?
Sure was. I dumped his sorry butt after he cheated on me. But to be fair, he has grown into a really good dude since then.
Wonder what his love life is like these days. Hope he finds somebody.
Look how handsome Trunks looks with that serious expression.
He's from the future, right? I wonder what the three of us are up to over in that alternate timeline.
I heard that almost all of humanity was wiped out by the androids.
Traveling back in time to the past in order to change the future was a real feat of science.
This is the fusion of Goku and Vegeta after wearing the Patara earrings.
There was some uncertainty on this, but you can only stay fused for an hour until you run out of energy.
I've always wondered, would a fused person be fed with a meal for one, or do they need to eat twice as much?
Hey, that's me and my good old high school days.
I admit, when Gohan first brought you over, I had my doubts.
Now that you mention it, you pretty much gave us your blessing to get married right there on the spot, didn't you?
Hey, when I see a rich girl living in a house the size of a small village, you bet I want her engaged to my son.
You're a real mistress of subtlety, Chi-Chi.
This old fossil is a legendary martial artist who's trained Goku and Krillin since they were kids.
He's a skilled fighter and all, but why oh why does he have to be such a pervert?
Uh-huh. I've heard a lot of rumors about this guy.
He's looked the same for so many years. Think he's got some kind of ancient technique to keep himself from aging?
This is when Frieza gathered all his strength. Frieza is the evil tyrant who destroyed planet Vegeta. He's so powerful that he just glides around in his stupid little hovercraft.
His power level was around 530,000. Really high up on himself.
So how strong is 530,000 in the grand scheme of things?
Oh, who the heck knows?
After Goku defeated him, Frieza came back with a cybernetic body.
Repairing yourself with mechanical parts. There's some truly incredible technology we have now.
Yeah. Until Trunks came in and made cold cuts out of him.
Cell created a bunch of miniature copies of himself, but Gohan eradicated all 7 of them. Or was it 8?
Considering just one of them was strong enough to overpower Vegeta, it's incredible how easily Gohan took them all out.
And he's usually so calm and kind-hearted. I can't even picture that.
This thing looks very unique.
This was Dr. Giro's ultimate android creation.
This little cutie's my second son, Goten. He's got a real talent for martial arts.
Chi-Chi, you used to spar with Goten, didn't you?
I could totally see that. After all, you were tough enough to reach the quarterfinals of the World Tournament.
Hey, if I don't want him to become a delinquent, I need to raise him to be strong and dependable.
That's some tough love. Oh, my clever little boy. Even when he's being a brat, he's just the cutest.
I'm so glad that Goten has another kid his age to play with.
Those two get up to a lot of trouble together, but it's always a ton of fun to watch.
This is when he came back from the future again.
How could I forget? It was when that Goku doppelganger was messing up the future.
Poor Trunks. It seems like he's always been faced with hardship.
Jocko said that using time travel so much wasn't a good idea. But what other choice did I have but to help out my son?
This is Gohan when he was fighting Cell and the androids. I know he was defending the Earth, but he had me worried sick!
Honestly, leaving the fate of the world in the hands of a single kid? That was a huge gamble Goku took.
Gohan really got put through the ringer as a kid.
This was Gohan at the start of his delinquent phase. He's already so handsome, he doesn't need to be blonde.
Gotta admit, though, he wears the golden spikes really well.
But ever since this happened, he let his martial arts training get too much in the way of his studies.
I don't think being behind on his studies has anything to do with being blonde.
I think he was around 10 years old by then. Becoming a Super Saiyan at that age takes real innate talent.
With guys like Goku and Vegeta, I'd say he had some pretty great role models to be inspired by.
Gohan fought so hard to save the whole planet. I shouldn't be so hard on him.
Ugh, the Cell games. That was a rough time for everybody.
Cell was going to self-destruct, taking the Earth with him. And so Goku teleported him away at the last second.
Not only was Gohan in danger, but then Goku's sacrifice. Oh, Chi-Chi, you seriously had it rough.
I'll never let my boys die again. Gotta say, Krillin scored himself a gorgeous wife.
I wonder if cyborgs like her and her brother age after they've been mechanically altered. Guess only time will tell.
Does that mean 18 will be young and beautiful forever?
A wife who's young forever. What more could a guy dream of?
She went from being one of our most hated enemies to being a fellow protector of the planet. Crazy how things change, huh?